What up, DC Fanatic? We are back again for the third installment. Draft prospects for the Cowboys. DCFanatic.com and DallasCowboysShow.com working hand in hand to get you all the information you need. Okay, let's talk about the first couple of guys that the Cowboys will not be getting because they will be long gone before number 27. Ndamukong Suh, later. First 5 picks. Gerald McCoy, probably same thing. Also, Rolando McClain. Broncos or Giants will not let him get past that. I think it's 13 and 15 spot. Those 3 guys out of there. All right, let's move on to 4-3 defensive ends. Basically, guys that cannot be outside linebackers, even though we all know the Cowboys are pretty much set at that position. So Derek Morgan from Georgia Tech, Jason Paul-Pierre, Everson Griffin, Carlos Dunlap, those kind of guys, will not be Dallas Cowboys. They don't fit the scheme. They're 4-3 defensive ends, particularly right defensive end going against left tackles, pass rushers. They're not in the Cowboys' plans. All right, so let's get to the guys the Cowboys should be interested in, could be looking at, could possibly be on this team next year. First up, Brian Price, UCLA. Can play defensive end in the base. Can also probably play nose tackle in the base because we see Ratliff do it, and he's the same type of player. And he can play defensive tackle in the nickel. He's a pass rusher. He's a pass rusher. He's a pretty good player. Possibly be gone, though, before the Cowboys even get a chance at him. Jared Odrick, Penn State. Basically same as Price. Maybe more defensive end than defensive tackle, but basically same type of kid. Gets a little bit of pass rush there. Same type of thing. Could push, these 2 guys will push for spots in that rotation if they're the Cowboys. Also, Dan Williams could be gone early to a 3-4 team. He's like a big nose tackle, There's a possibility if he does show some pass rush skills that he could be on third downs, but he's more of a 2-down player. If he goes through a 4-3 team, then he'll be in on third down sometimes. But if he goes through a 3-4 team, highly unlikely that he'll be out there on third downs. He's more of a nose tackle. All right, those guys are all first rounders. Let's go to maybe, some guys that are in the second round here. Tyson Alu from the Cal Bears. Cowboys are very high on him. They had him in for a visit. He's very versatile. I hear sources, tell me that the Cowboys are in love with this kid. He can play all the positions on the defensive line in any situation. And he could possibly be there at the end of the second round. People keep talking him up. He's not going to be, and that's going to be, that's going to suck. Terrence Cody. He's a nose tackle all the way. Doubt he's in the cards. Can't help on third downs. 2-down player. Don't think the Cowboys want anybody like that. We see what they do with Jay Ratliff at the nose tackle. 3 guys that are moving up the board. Second or third rounders. Lamar Houston from Texas. Terrell Troop from Central Florida. Linval Joseph from East Carolina. These guys are all basically defensive ends. They can play at the, if we go to the 4, they can play inside. We'll have to see. Those guys are moving up, though. I like the kid Linval Joseph from East Carolina. Seems like a bull to me. Okay, the best of the rest, as far as defensive linemen go, Geno Atkins from Georgia, Cam Thomas from North Carolina. These guys are, bigger type of guys. Geno Atkins isn't that tall. Cam Thomas is a bigger guy, like a nose tackle. Then you got Mike Neal, Arthur Jones, Jeff Owens. These guys are later round guys, third, late third, 4th, 5th round picks, stuff like that. Not sure the Cowboys would even waste a pick on a guy later in that round with what they have now. All right, we go to linebackers, inside linebackers basically, because we don't really need any outside linebackers right now. Although we did draft 2 last year, we still don't know what they are. I don't think the Cowboys are looking to go that way. I'll give you 5 names. There's not a lot out there. I'll give you 5 names. Donald Butler, Washington. He was a team captain. Strong kid. He can play the middle like a Brady James. Round 2. I don't know. I don't hear anything about him with the Cowboys, so long shot. Sean Lee, he was in for a visit. Just think young Keith Brooking. Says it all. Second rounder. That's highly possible. That's very highly possible. We know Brooking's ought to be around forever. We know the team doesn't love Carpenter. Jason Williams. We'll have to see what he does in the future here. But, Brady James isn't a spring chicken anymore either. So, Cowboys, they could be possibly looking for an inside linebacker. And Sean Lee has, been in for a visit. Go to his teammate, Navarro Bowman, Penn State. This guy's probably maybe a 4th rounder, 3rd rounder. Sean Lee's going to go higher than him. But he's an inside linebacker, more of a Brady James type, where Sean Lee is more of a Keith Brookie type. All right, let's go to Darrell Washington from TCU. People have him going in the outside linebacker spot in a 4-3 defense and also playing inside in a 3-4 defense. Kid is just a playmaker. Makes plays all over the field, 2nd or 3rd round, but he makes plays. That you put the tape on, he makes plays. Last guy. I've already heard from some people that talk to the Cowboys that Brandon Spikes really isn't the type of player they're looking for. I know he's a good player. I know that if maybe he's there in the 4th or 5th round and he's one of those guys that just keeps dropping, the Cowboys might have to grab him because he does, make plays on the field. But he looks like a lineman when he runs to me. He reminds me of the Brady James from 2006. I don't really want anything to do with that. Here the Cowboys just think of him as a 2-down player. So I don't really think he's, in the cards, but we'll see. All right, that's the defensive linemen and the linebackers for the Dallas Cowboys draft prospects. We'll be back next week. Next week, we're going to hit it up with some wide receivers, some, punt returners, kick returners, types of options like that. So, we'll get some good names out there. See you next week.